whole bridge just fell down. Start, everybody. The whole bridge just collapsed.
Today marks 1 year since the deadly Baltimore Key Bridge collapse. Coming up, we'll take a look at some new efforts underway aimed at preventing some more tragedies.
And we're going to have some rainy days over the next couple of days, just spotty showers to end the week going into the weekend as well. We'll talk about this active pattern coming up.
And it's Red Cross Giving Day. Coming up, we'll have a live report on how you can help local families that have been hit by disaster.
So first, a live look outside in Fort Smith for you. Rogers Avenue there off in the distance, getting the day started right. 5 News This Morning starts now.
Covering news where you live. This is 5 News This Morning.
Well, good morning. Thanks so much for waking up with us on 5 News This Morning. All right, we made it to Wednesday, so we're halfway, right?
We're
Wednesday,
halfway there.
Yeah, so it's been good so far.
Yeah.
March almost out of here.
That's crazy. We're going to go into April, I think, beginning of next week. I do want to take a little look back. We showed that bridge video. Do you remember that morning when we were sitting there and we were just watching this bridge collapse?
Watching it unfold,
I've never seen anything like it.
It was absolutely like a devastating day. I know, like we mentioned, learned a lot since then. So a lot of good things coming out of some new reports there this morning.
Yeah, absolutely.
But here at home?
Here at home, not too bad though. A nice day today. Overall, comfortable this afternoon as well. We're starting off this morning with a few stray showers there across the river valley. Overall, those are dissipating pretty quickly though. You may just run into a sprinkle here or there. Overall though, today another nice day to get outside. Daytime highs 70s and 80s. Expecting to see lots of sunshine once again. We are going into a bit of an active pattern though. Multiple rain chances to end the week going into this upcoming weekend as well. Or by the weekend, that's where we could have maybe a few storm chances here and there, but overall, just looking at some spotty showers pretty much every day to end the work week. And not any day is going to be a complete washout, but a few rain chances here and there. We take a look outside, starting to see that sunrise come up across the area, but a few places still dealing with some cloud coverage this morning. I think that continues to clear out as you progress throughout the day. Take a look at those temperatures though. Northwest Arkansas into those mid 40s, across the river valley, upper 50s, low 60s though, and that cooler air just hasn't quite reached the surface just yet. Those daytime highs today going to be really nice outside. We're talking upper 70s, low 80s again. Again, this afternoon, you might struggle to find any cloud coverage because it's going to be lots of sunshine for our Wednesday for today. Let's get an update on traffic for you this morning. Here's a live look out across I-49 there in Rogers this morning. Traffic starting to pick up there as everybody's heading to work on this Wednesday morning. Good news is no accidents, no slowdowns to get in the way for you today.
All right, thanks so much for that, Stephen. Well, today marks 1 year since that deadly collapse of the Baltimore Bridge. A cargo ship, you'll remember, crashed into a support pier, which sent the landmark into icy waters, killing 6 people.
Since then, federal regulators have increased bridge inspections nationwide to prevent a similar tragedy. Jared Hill has more.
1 year since the unthinkable.
The whole bridge just fell down. Everybody. The whole bridge just collapsed.
The horrifying moment, a massive cargo ship slammed into a support column of Maryland's Francis Scott Key Bridge. Maryland Governor Wes Moore.
When my phone rings in the middle of the night, I'm never about to get good news.
The collapse shut down one of America's busiest shipping corridors and claimed the lives of 6 men working construction on the bridge when it crumbled into the Patapsco River. Last week, the National Transportation Safety Board said the risk of collapse for Baltimore's Key Bridge was almost 30 times higher than what's considered acceptable, and recommended 68 bridges across the country be evaluated.
What we are telling bridge owners is that they need to know the risk and determine what actions they need to take to ensure safety.
One issue, bigger ships and more congestion at the nation's largest ports, with the U.S. supply chain outpacing bridge design. Dr. Michael Shields led the group of researchers at Baltimore's Johns Hopkins University who compiled the data.
When the Key Bridge was designed and built in the 1970s, it was seeing ships that were much smaller.
All of that a consideration as Maryland builds a new Key Bridge, scheduled to be completed in 2028. Jared Hill, CBS News.
In other news, President Trump and other top U.S. officials are downplaying a military leak from a group chat on the message app Signal.
Some Democrats on Capitol Hill are calling for leaders involved to step down.
The concern started after the national security advisor accidentally added reporter Jeffy Goldberg from The Atlantic to a group chat discussing military attacks against rebels in Yemen.
CBS News learned that just last month, the National Security Agency issued a warning that signals a target of Russian hackers. On Capitol Hill, lawmakers are pushing for more answers.
It'll be a thorough investigation, and we'll get to the bottom of it.
There's got to be accountability somewhere in this administration.
Nobody's texting more plans. I know exactly what I'm doing.
Well, amid the conversations over national security, President Trump signed some major executive orders, he says, tackle election security. Orders requiring proof of citizenship to vote in federal elections and barring mail-in ballots received after Election Day. Well, happening today, it's the Red Cross's annual Day of Giving. It's a way you can help support local communities and neighbors who have been through disasters, big and small.
5 News reporter Morgan Wrigley joins us live from Rogers with more on how you can help your neighbors in need. Good morning, Morgan.
Good morning, Tiffany and Joe. Well, here in Rogers, of course, it was one of the cities that those Memorial Day weekend tornadoes came through last year. And looking here behind me, you can still see the impact to businesses here on Walnut in Rogers. And these signs are they're just signs of how long this cleanup can take and how important the Red Cross's work is. And of course, that's what today is all about and why they're asking people to give back. On Red Cross Giving Day, the organization is asking for support, whether that's donating money, giving blood, or signing up to volunteer. Every dollar helps provide relief for those in need, including right here at home. And today, volunteers say donations will go even further, with Ford Motor Company matching every dollar given. Volunteer Bruce Thomas says the impact felt by those storms we had last year here in places like Rogers is a reminder of how important this work is.
People were camping, people lost their homes, mobile homes, apartments, and the Red Cross stepped in and was able to help people with shelter, help people with donations, help people with cleaning up. And all those things matter. And you know, when it touches you this close to home, right here in Northwest Arkansas, I think people understand why we asked them to give today to the Red Cross.
He also says that blood donations are in high demand right now nationwide after severe weather all across the country and in the state of Arkansas disrupted those collections. And he also says that the Red Cross is always in need of volunteers. If you want to give financially today for Giving Day, you can do that on the American Red Cross's website. Live in Rogers, covering news where you live, Morgan Wrigley, 5 News.
All right, thanks for that, Morgan. Well, in today's Consumer Report, with rapid growth comes a rapid demand for housing in Northwest Arkansas.
This morning, we're getting a look at a new report that shows home sales increased more than 14% over the last year. The Skyline report for the second half of 2024 was released and details how even with high interest rates as well as high mortgage rates, people are still buying homes in Northwest Arkansas. The average price of a home in Benton County is almost $450,000. $400,000 in Washington County. The report also says that the region's real estate market is trending the opposite of the national market, causing smaller communities to run into issues.
Smaller cities are running into infrastructure problems, so they can't generate as much housing construction and new homes as we've seen in previous years because they're running into water and sewer capacity issues.
The data shows that this was the third highest amount of home sales since the report started 2 decades ago, and the highest amount of new construction homes.
Also this morning, we're getting an exclusive look at what the new Ozark United Soccer Stadium in Rogers will look like. It comes with so much more than just a soccer stadium. The stadium will be located just south of Pinnacle Hills, the shopping center near the intersection of Bellevue and Perry Roads. Now, the plan is to have restaurants, retail space, and luxury apartments. The co-founder says it'll be more than just hosting soccer games a few months out of the year.
We expect to do, 3 or 4 concerts. These are going to be bigger than what can fit in the amphitheater. So 17,000 type concerts. Festivals, high school football, high school soccer. I'm working with Major League Rugby in another market. They've expressed interest in this market. So I think you'll find it'll be, once you have a facility, you kind of ways to use it becomes creative.
Well, the team is still asking for public input on a variety of issues. A small questionnaire can be found on the team's website.
Well, in other news this morning, the Oklahoma Department of Health is reporting a rise in measles cases. State health leaders say that it found 7 more cases of the disease among unvaccinated people in northeastern Oklahoma. They say all cases are linked through exposures to their household or extended family and found no additional public setting exposures.
Well, it comes as Texas deals with its own outbreak. There are now more than 327 cases in the western part of the state. There have been no confirmed cases, though, in Arkansas. And a federal trial over the Pope County casino license began this week. Cherokee Nation argues it should get the license despite voters rejecting issue 2 in November. In court, Cherokee Nation Businesses CEO Chuck Garrett called revoking their license unconstitutional. They also claim they deserve monetary compensation if they don't get it back. The trial is expected to last at least 3 days.
Well, this morning we are taking a live look in Little Rock at the state capitol. Beautiful shot here, but in Little Rock just hours ago, Arkansas Attorney General Tim Griffin rejected a proposed ballot title that would reform the state's rules over voter initiatives. That ballot title, proposed by the League of Women Voters, would have simplified the signature collection process when it comes to ballot initiatives and would introduce new rules for referendums and emergency clauses. The Attorney General says that the proposed name and ballot title is too vague, saying it prevents him from ensuring it's not misleading.
And over-the-counter sales of ivermectin, an anti-parasitic drug, are now permitted in Arkansas after the governor signed it into law this week. Interest in human use of ivermectin, you'll remember, grew when people began taking it to prevent or treat COVID-19, despite the FDA and other health agencies warning against it. The Arkansas measure allows the human use and over-the-counter sale of ivermectin without a prescription or consultation from a healthcare professional.